Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Hakim. I was introduced to Hakim from our good friend Gretchen Niesler, ET, who informed me that we had a new visiting international faculty member in the College of Law. I never interact with anyone at the College of Law. I've never been to their building. I don't even know where on campus their building is. So I don't even know where Dean's office is on campus. But it was great. Hakim and I met for coffee at one of the places in between that we both could get to. And it was really interesting hearing his story coming from his home country of Afghanistan and being a Rotarian in Afghanistan and everything that he helped the US do and helped his country do and still is trying to help in his home country. And I wanted him to be able to share that with everyone here because I think it's a really impactful story and some great information for us. So I'm going to let him share his background and history and things that he's worked on. So it's my pleasure to introduce Hakim.
Thank you, Mr. for introduction. Thanks to all for accepting me, and it is my pleasure being here. Yeah, this is almost about 7 months that I'm with my family, my wife and 2 kids, immigrated from Afghanistan to the US directly to Knoxville. And after a long journey, more than 1 year and a half, we struggled with many challenges hiding in my country after the government collapsed. Because I was working directly with US government for 10 years and supporting the government institution of Afghanistan under the USAID projects. And I did my bachelor in law in Afghanistan in 2007, and I have master degree LLM from Ohio Northern University back in 2016, and I have a diploma of leadership studies from Afghanistan supported by Morningstar, US institution. Anyhow, before talking about Rotary, I would like to share some information about Afghanistan and then about the Rotary Club and back in my country. I hope I will not take that much of your time, and thanks for patience.
It is on.
That's okay.
I'll do it for you.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, the one slide, please. Yeah, civil war in Afghanistan. The civil situation in Afghanistan has undergone significant challenges and transformation over the years. Thank you. The country has experienced decades of conflict, foreign interventions, and political upheavals, all of which have had a profound impact on its civil society. The Afghan people have displaced in the face of adversity, working tirelessly to rebuild their communities and institutions. However, the situation remains complex and fragile, with ongoing concerns about security, governance, human rights, and social development. Efforts by both national and international sectors are crucial in supporting Afghanistan civil society and promoting stability and peace and prosperity for its citizens. Dark days. Taliban regime for the first time. The Taliban, an Islamic fundamentalist group, gained control of Kabul in 1996 for the first time. They imposed a strict interpretation of Sharia law. During the rule, the Taliban implemented repressive policies that severely curtailed women's rights, leading to their exclusion from education, work, and public life. They also carried out brutal punishments such as public executions and amputations and suppressed cultural and artistic expression. The civil war continued as Taliban faced opposition from anti-Taliban forces. September 11 marked a tragic turning point in global history, unfortunately. And in the aftermath of September 11, the United States, supported by a coalition of nations, launched Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. The primary objective was to disseminate al-Qaeda infrastructure and remove the Taliban regime that had provided him the sanctuary. The military intervention quickly led to collapse of Taliban rule with the new Afghan government being established. This marked a new beginning for Afghanistan, as efforts were made to rebuild the country's institutions, promote democratic governance, and improve the lives of Afghan citizens. International organizations, including the United Nations and agencies like USAID, played a crucial role in supporting the construction and developing projects focusing on areas such as education, health, and infrastructure, and women's empowerment. While progress was made in various sectors, Afghanistan continued to face challenges, including political instability, corruption, and ongoing security concerns. Despite these obstacles, efforts were made to establish a more inclusive political process and engage in peace talks. However, the recent Taliban took over Afghanistan in August 21. The same day, in August 15, Taliban took over Afghanistan. This is almost 2 years. Has created uncertainty and challenges for the future of rule of law and good governance in Afghanistan. While international community has made significant contributions to the Afghanistan development, sustained and long-term support is necessary to continue promoting progress in the country. This requires ongoing commitment and investment in building the capacity of Afghanistan institutions, fostering democratic governance, and promoting the well-being of the Afghan people. The Taliban regime for the second time. The second Taliban regime began in August 15, 2021, following a rapid military takeover of Afghanistan. While the group claimed to have evolved, early indications suggest a return to the sum of their previous protective practices. Reports have emerged of restrictions on women's rights, media censorship, and the imposition of their strict interpretation of Islamic law. International concerns have arisen regarding potential human rights abuses and the treatment of minorities under their rule. The dynamics of the second Taliban regime are still unfolding. Its governance approach and impact on Afghan society continue to be subject to intense scrutiny and global attention. The pictures talking about the evacuation. This is the U.S. flight when they evacuated Afghan interpreters and Afghan people who work with the U.S. government. About in the last 2 years, about more than 100,000 people evacuated just by U.S. military from Afghanistan, and for 3 times I missed the flight because of the crowd in the and at the airport area. But fortunately, I traveled to Pakistan and with my family and get to US. About Rotary of health advance. In the picture, you may see about 20 people, maybe near to 20 people, but I can say 15 of them are in US now. in different states of US, Canada, they are living. From very young age, I was determined to not let polio dictate the course of my life and make me a burden on my family and society. On contrary, my goal was to climb the spiritual ladder through hard work and determination to change my identity from a miserable lane to a respected, dignified, and successful member of the society. I also aim to become a role model for other physical handicap Afghans that perceive disability as an obstacle for progress. After completing high school, I decided to get an administrative work to learn and understand the bureaucracy. Soon, however, I learned that unlike the private business, finding an administrative job for a disabled person is not easy. I faced outright discrimination multiple times. My persuasion finally broke through, and I landed a volunteer job at the director of Disabilities in Herald. Throughout my time in college, I remained engaged with organizations dedicated to assisting individuals with disability. I took on the role of an advocate within local groups working to secure the rights of those in vulnerable situations. In the final 3 years of my undergraduate studies, I focused on supporting people with disabilities, leading to the successful establishment of 5 local organizations tailored to various areas of needs for people with disabilities. I was driven by the desire to help my community, which forced me to keep moving forward. This led me to join a program where I learned about leadership. Through this program, I connected with other motivated individuals who wanted to make our community better. We came together under a platform called Rotary, and that's how the Rotary Club of Iran created in 2012. It is still active today, providing important services to our community. The club was chartered in United States of America on January 2015. This is what was our aim and what is our what we are doing in here, promoting peace, fighting diseases, providing clean water, taking mother and children, supporting education, growing local economies. I would like to share some of our work back in the last decade in to Rotary Club in Afghanistan. Digging water well for the school. It is just a simple, more than 10 water well was digging by Rotary Club in our province. Distributing food to vulnerable families. Just during the COVID-19, more than 500 families were feed during, regardless of their racial, religious, or practical background. Planting 700 trees, supplying health, mental clinic. This was a yearly activity that our Rotary inherited, and just an example. In 1 year, we planted 700 trees in Herald province. Equipping high schools with science labs and libraries. It was in 2016, but it continued until the last year before the girls' school stopped. We had a soccer tournament among orphans. Just it was. We try to support, promote a polio vaccination campaign for children through this tournament and provide raising awareness of the people for the polio. Unfortunately, still polio exists in Afghanistan, in some part of Afghanistan, while most of the countries they don't have polio, but still in Afghanistan we have because of a lack of organized vaccination around the country. And by the Taliban, the people are not allowed to work, and it affected on the vaccination process as well. As a graduate member, we hold the principle not to forget Afghanistan. This is why we are trying, and any member of our Rotary, which leave the country to any country, they are trying to connect our Rotary Herald with the International Rotary Club, and this is my pleasure to introduce Herald Rotary Club to you. And our plan is to create network between the clubs and use the skills, the education and support of other international clubs to support our community in Afghanistan. Following, as I told, following the challenges in Afghanistan, a significant number of Rotarians left the country. Despite this, the reduction to aiding the Herald Rotary Club remains unwavering, striving to establish the new Rotary clubs. A remarkable example of this, this is our connection between Herald Rotary Club and Roseville, if I am saying it right, Roseville from California state. Rotary Club, as a result, approximately about $10,000 worth of food packages were distributed to the families in need in Herald, Afghanistan, just during these 2 years. Our members connected Roseville Rotary with Herald Rotary Club. Thank you.